Hello and welcome back to Spec Esports. You join us for RS1 on PlayStation. We're here at circuit of Suzuka, or Suzuka Circuit rather, for the Japanese Grand Prix, which is round 13 of Season 4. And last week we crowned a champion in VSR Domi, but there's still all to play for the minor placings in this league. So we will take a look at our track map here at the beautiful Suzuka circuit, personal favourite of mine and many drivers, particularly wheel drivers, I'm sure. Some controller drivers might not like it as much, but yeah, it's a really fast flowing circuit. The first sector is just a dream to drive. When you hook it up, it feels really good. So yeah, it's really satisfying track. So that is a track map there, and we'll have a look at our quick look at our previous week's results, previous round results, and you can see VSR Domi with his 8th win, sealing the championship at Spain with that victory. VSR Duncan in P2 and NWS Ace getting his first podium in RS1. Very good drive from him. So 2 of the drivers on that podium actually aren't with us for this Japanese Grand Prix. VSR Domi, I think he's out karting today, so unable to race, and I'm not sure where Ace is, but yeah, usually pretty reliable in showing up. So yeah, he's unless I missed something, I think he's just not going to make this one. So we'll go quickly to our F1 screen, and we have 11.5 minutes left in qualifying. And VSR Duncan with the fastest lap so far, a 25.5, followed by Colin with a 27.2. Yannick is on a lap now. We might just jump on board him because we were following him through Spoon Curve onto, I guess you would call this back straight over where the track crosses over itself, right there. Figure of 8 circuit, the only figure of 8 circuit on the calendar. And I've nearly forgotten, but I also have a co-commentator today. So I'll welcome him in now. Marco, thanks for joining me. Sorry, I got a bit carried away and yeah, forgot to introduce you, but thanks for joining me.
No problem. No problem. Good evening.
My fault completely. Yeah. But yeah, it's good to have a co-commentator back. I've been toing and froing a bit with you and who else has joined me? Has anyone? I think Bailey joined me once. I can't remember. Bailey, but yeah, I've mainly been by myself. So yeah, it's nice to have someone in. Let's see if we can pick up someone on a lap here. And I think we got Asacom. No, he's not on a lap. So he's on
starting his own.
Duncan on another lap. All right, we'll go with our provisional pole sitter. Into the turn 1 and 2 complex, slightly wide there, an apex of 2, but carries the speed nicely, doesn't overshoot it. Hitting the curbs there, ooh, a little bit deep, I would say, in a couple of these corners, but Duncan a much more capable driver than myself, so he probably knows what he's doing. Up to first sector split, he's actually up 3 100s. Short shift to 4th out of the second Degner. Makes very late there for the hairpin. Wide line, carry the speed. It's the fastest way. Up to Spoon now. Wow, very, very nice speed through there. And he's actually going to get a bit of a tow from his fill-in teammate today, TRT Tom, who just won the RS2 race actually, so he wanted to have a go in RS1, so see how he goes. Not the best last sector though, I would say. He's going to beat his time. He's going to go up by a 10th, but I thought there he lost a bit of time actually in the last chicane. I don't know about you, Marco, but yeah, he wasn't maximising the curb there, I thought.
Yeah, I agree with you actually, and
Left some time on the table.
Maybe that's what Cohen did, because he got P1 like with a 25.3. That's crazy quick.
Yeah, I
And
missed that lap. Very nice.
yeah, but so far looking good for Tom. He just won the race in RS2, as you said, and oh, now Luca gets
Luca
P3 with
P3.
25.5.
So yeah,
really, the field is really punched up.
Yeah, it is. The top 7 all in the 25s, but it's pretty spread out in that 25. So yeah, Luca, a reserve driver, he's raced once before. I do forget what round that was. Maybe it was Italy, but yeah, he has been a reserve driver the whole of the season. He wasn't never full time, but definitely wanted to jump in for this one. I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago. He was keen for this particular race, so good to have him on the grid. Isaac Kush as well, making his RS1 debut. Frequently a top runner in RS2, and I think it's probably better suited to this league, if I'm honest. Yeah. So hopefully he gets a taste of it and finds that it's a bit more challenge for him and likes it. But VR Martin, second race, we'll pick him up on the rest of his lap. He's got a bit of oversteer there out of the hairpin. He's not on a hot lap, but he might have to leave before the end of the race. Unfortunately, we hope he can finish the race, but if not, then that is why he leaves. I'll just check the chat, make sure there's no one waiting on invite.
Yeah, in the meantime, Fordi just lost it in the download curve. Yeah, it's a really tricky corner. Like, you want to go flat out, but the car doesn't want to, basically.
Yeah, and, line's really important through there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and let's remember, Isaac Kush and Tom getting the same exact time with a 1:25.567.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got actually the first row of the grid, RS2. So looking good for them. Wow, 8 drivers are within 2 temps and a half, and now GeForce Crichton as well. So 9 drivers right now, below 25.6.
Yeah. See if Ford is going to start a lap. No, normally that kind of exit. He'll be into the pits. Leo. He's on a lap. See what he can do.
Yes, he is. But he was 2 temps up on his time in Sector 1. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, he's not pushing. See if Ferreira dives in. Yeah, Ferreira's in the pit. So not sure who's on a lap here. Yannick?
No. I think nobody. No.
Nobody. Oh, we got a revving glitch with Crichton. That's really weird, because out of all the drivers on the grid, I live closest to Crichton, so he should be the one I have the best connection to, and I have a revving glitch with him, so that shows it's just completely random, to be honest, and it is actually a glitch and doesn't have anything to do with the connection.
Because even on the other side of the world, I don't have this glitch in Crichton.
Well, that could be a consideration too, actually, because Cohen is hosting, and yeah, I'm not quite sure how their system works. But yeah, if the data has to go all the way to Europe and then back to me, that would make sense, I guess. But
in the meantime,
I don't usually get it. Duncan's on a high lap. All right, we'll pick him up. See if he can beat Cohen's time. Oh, very, very nervous through Dunlop. Oh, he's up at 10th. Oh, he runs it a little bit wide there. I think he would have lost a bit of time. one thing I noticed about Duncan, he's just always so deep on the brakes. Like, I expect him to brake where I would brake, and then he brakes it another 10 meters later and still gets it pulled up. It's kind of crazy how good this guy is under brakes.
One tank down again. Sector.
I think it's going to be enough. And remember, he's got time in the bank as well in this chicane, and he's nailed it that time. Ryan's joined. This is going to be much quicker. Oh, only a 10th and a half. I thought there would be more time for him in that last chicane.
Yeah, I'll go
anyway.
check the race director and see.
So 25.2 is extraordinarily quick. Get that word out. Apologies. Lose my voice a little bit, I think. But is it push on a lap? Yes, he is. We'll pick up Izzat. It's gone very early for a final run. 2 minutes left. I don't think Duncan will be able to get out again, actually, for another run. So he'll probably be done. Izzat up nearly 3/10. Wow, that's a great first sector. So this is on par with Duncan's lap right now. He needs to finish it off though, of course, but what a first sector from Izzat.
I think he's lost some momentum in the air. Let's see.
A little bit. It didn't look too bad through the hairpin, but could he use a little bit more curve there? Yeah, gets a very nice exit.
He's lost some time in second sector, but he's gonna fight for P3, P4, I think.
Oh, he's cut it.
Oh,
that's disappointing. That would have been such a good lap. Oh well. That's a real shame. Anyway, so we've got drivers on the outlap, and Izzat retires. He'd be quite annoyed with that, I'd imagine. And Yannick is about to give his teammate Martin a tow here, as he's about to start his lap. So the two AlphaTauris really working well together here. That's great teamwork.
Yeah,
as Yannick goes,
well together.
pulls out of the way before the chicane, and he'll get a nice tow starting his lap from Martin as well. Opens up DRS. Can he improve? He goes P4, so he improves by a 10th and a half, and that puts him in 125. So Yannick, no, he's too far back to get that tow. I talked about it. Duncan's retired because he won't get out again. I reckon we'll go on board with Cohen though for the last run, because he's close to, and he's gone. I've jinxed him. Huge accident. So we'll go back to Yannick.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep you updated on the other guys. Because
yeah, if you could keep an eye on Crichton. I know this is Crichton's favourite track, so I know he'll be. Yannick, he was up. He was on pole position pace. But he's done the same as Cohen at the first Degner. Leo's retired. Ryan won't get a lap in. I'm not sure why Ferreira hasn't got a lap in either.
No, watch out for Prix.
Crichton's 3/10 up.
3/10 down. Yeah, it's 3/10 up.
Can it be pole?
Oh,
Seconds! Pizza, well done. That was a good lap.
And Luca is 1/10 down, 1/10 up as well. The second Red Bull.
Moves up to 5th. So that's it. That's all our drivers.
Tom gets P4. Tom has got P4.
Did he? Wow.
125.3. Wow, super closed grid.
Wow, some
Oh my.
late. Wow, the top 4 all within a 10th. That's crazy. quick. Well done to him. So Duncan takes pole position from Crichton by 5/100ths. Cohen only a few 100ths back, and another couple of 100ths sees Tom in P4, all within a tenth of a second. Then we have Yannick in P5, Luca P6, Martin P7. Those guys within another tenth. Then we have Asacom is at Kush in P9. LRB rounds out the top 10. Then we have Ford fair way back. That's probably the biggest gap I've seen so far, just over a tenth. And then Ferreira, Ryan, and Leo, I think it was, or Leo and then Ryan. But yeah, that was quite a good qualifying session. So it looks like dry weather for the race. If you are just joining us, thank you and welcome to the stream. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, hope you enjoy the Japanese Grand Prix. These are the quickest drivers on PlayStation at Race Spec, and some of the quickest on the platform. Yeah, we have some really quick drivers in here, so they're good races too. So should be a really entertaining Grand Prix. Gives you predictions as well if you have been following this series or know some of these drivers. What you think might happen, who might take the win and get a podium today. So yeah, and while the guys are selecting their strategy and whatnot, we'll have a look at our standings just quickly, which I have just realised I haven't updated, but I can do that very quickly. Only takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, and talking about strategy, I think the race will be quite straightforward. It's gonna be a one-stop for everybody.
Yeah.
Not sure what the guys will decide whether to choose hard tires or medium tires for the second stint, because they're quite evenly matched. I mean, the hards will be better towards the end of the race, and with the mediums you will have that boost at the beginning of the second stint, of course.
Yeah.
So all the drivers have chosen. Yeah, everybody's on softs. The top 10, of course, is on softs. Leo from P13 starts on softs as well. And Ford, Ferreira, and Ryan, of course, choose the medium tire to go for the alternate strategy.
Yeah, interesting.
And
all right, I will go through the
yeah,
standings just quickly before we get underway, because don't have much of the formation lap left. So yeah, you can see on the screen there, three races left, but Domi has wrapped up the championship, unassailable, 265 points, over 100-point lead, 112 points I think that is, to WSO Ferreira, who may come under threat from Duncan for that P2 position. A little bit of prize money up for grabs for those two spots as well. And then Crichton in P4 will be looking to get back in the hunt for top 3 finish. Dario hasn't started the last 2 races, isn't here today either. Just he's missing this one. Midnight's retired. Ace is not here. Asacom is here. Yeah, so a lot of reserve and retired drivers through the field, but that is your driver standings. We'll move quickly to the constructor standings. And Haas, no cars on the grid today. So Joey and our champion Domi not on the grid. So no points for them. So it gives a chance for Alfa Romeo to catch up. And Renault had a great weekend last weekend. Both cars in the points, and Ace getting that podium. So they are on 143 and have a chance to get P2 as well. But only Ferreira on the grid today. So we'll go back to the cars now as they're getting ready for the start of the Grand Prix. I'll wait for the red lights to come on.
we're off.
And it's lights out for the Japanese Grand Prix. Looks like Dunga got a good start. Crichton holds his position, and so does Cohen. The 2 cars behind were side by side momentarily though, so Cohen trying to go around the outside of Crichton, but he holds position. Meanwhile, Tom gets driven off the track there, and he's going to lose positions. Is he? Yes, he is. And more drivers off a Ferrari, and Martin. Martin's retired. I think that's going to be a safety car. Well, it would be in real life anyway. And the Ferrari, I'm not sure what happened there. Anyway, oh, it's Izakush. So Izakush got pushed down, and Martin's retired. And
yeah, basically what happened is that basically Tom, as you said, lost control, and then on the last part of the S, he touched Luca, who touched Isaac Kush, and then Isaac Kush went off. Basically, yeah, it's really narrow track, so kind of understandable what happened.
It's a shame for Isaac Kush. I would have liked to have seen how he went in this Grand Prix, but race is not over yet, of course, and no safety car, so we do keep going. The virtual marshals only throwing a local yellow for that incident, even though it was a retirement, which is a bit odd. So Duncan leads from Crichton, Cohen, Yannick, Tom, Luca, LRB, Ascom, Ferreira, and Ford. Good starts from those guys. Let's have a look at, can I get, oh, is it now the yellow flag? Is that's retired, so yeah, probably doesn't want to do a second Grand Prix, having to chase. It's understandable. So let's have a look at our position change. We have lost 2 drivers already, so LRB up 2. Yannick and Tom have swapped, as I said. Tom did well to actually keep P5, having been driven off the circuit, more or less, on the opening lap. So LRB up 3, Ferreira up 3, GeForce Ford up 1, Ryan up 3, and Leo is the last of runners, but is up. Go back to our tyres for the guys. And now it's going to be, I'm not sure, we've got the timing glitch, but it's going to be crucial for Crichton to stay within 1 second of Duncan until that DRS gets opened up. Oh, and Ascom and LRB are side by side, are they? Oh, and Ascom gets through. And Crichton, wow, that's a terrible camera angle. Crichton is within a second there, so this will be the lap that DRS is enabled. Can he stay within that 1 second he needs to have DRS on Duncan? There's another yellow flag, it's Tom! Tom's off! Oh no! I'm not sure what happened to him now. I just saw him dropping down the order on the, oh, and his tyres are a bit hot from sliding. That's bad luck for him, and Ryan picks up a 3-second penalty, but Tom's race has taken a bit of a hit, unfortunately. We'll go back to the lead car, Alfa Romeo, that is VSR Duncan. He's just about pulled out another couple of tenths on Crichton, so he's really trying to get that gap. So Crichton doesn't have DRS, but I know Crichton loves this circuit, and he'll be pushing really hard to try and get the win at this one, and he's stuck within 1 second, which is good news for him. Oh, and safety car, and Tom's crashed out. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me.
Oh, Crichton gets a 5-second.
Oh, there's a collision. Oh, they're going to have to serve it in the pits, so he's going to be held here. Oh, that's terrible. Is Duncan the same thing? Let's see.
No, Duncan
didn't get one, so he's okay. Crichton, though, that's going to really hurt him. He's going to lose some positions. You can already see where he comes out. He's going hard, so yeah, everyone will be going hard, I guess.
Ferreira's seen out.
I wonder if he got damage actually. What kind of no, it doesn't look like he got damage. And Tom, so Crichton lost positions to Cohen, Yannick and Luca. So he dropped 3 from that 5-second penalty, but at least he served it. So I'm not quite sure what happened. Maybe Duncan had a jam on the brakes because of the delta. But yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I think the
fortunate that
safety
no drivers started on the hard tyres because they would be pretty much out of the race at this point. Although they probably could do medium soft from here if they start on the hards. But yeah, these guys will be going to the end on this tyre, I think.
Yeah, they surely will. I think the problem with Duncan and Crichton was that the safety car came out when they were like in the middle of the Casio triangle. Yeah, maybe Duncan. Yeah, there's no space over there basically, so Duncan maybe pushed a bit on the brakes.
But Duncan was very fortunate not to get that penalty as well, because it's usually both drivers that get the penalty. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so. So only Crichton picking up that one. So yeah, he's got work to do, make up a couple of more spots to get back where he was, but yeah, we kind of robbed of that battle. I would have liked to have seen how Crichton and Duncan got on for a battle with a battle for the lead on the soft tyres if there wasn't a safety car. But anyway, that's not to be this time. Ferreira is the only one not to box for hard tyres. Interesting. Very interesting.
Sense for him.
It does make sense.
He started on
so he started on fresh mediums, of course, and ordinarily, even without a safety car, a medium soft would get him to the end pretty easily. Maybe with some pretty worn tyres, but I think he would have been okay. But now, especially with the safety car, with some slower laps, he will be able to save the tyres a bit more. Like, have a bit more tyre to play with, rather. But he will have to make that pit stop, which he hasn't made yet. So he has the lead. He'll be able to use his medium tyres to pull away. Well, maybe. Or maybe Duncan will have the pace to stick with him on the hards. I'm not quite sure the pace differential on 4-lap-old mediums compared to fresh hards. They actually might be pretty similar. So he's gonna have to push really hard.
Yeah, definitely. I think the delta is between like 4 or 5 tenths a lap. But yeah, Ferreira will need to push, and will be key for Duncan to stick with him the DRS train, because afterwards, like in the second part of the race, Ferreira will be blistering quick with the new set of softs.
Yep.
So watch out for him, because you will need to gain a lot of positions, but you will have a big pace advantage.
Yeah, so VSR Duncan will be looking to get past them very quickly, I would imagine. I wonder if the safety car is going to be in this lap, given that we do have all 11 cars in the train.
Oh, and there's a wing flying off. Oh my, yeah, there was a collision between
Oh, it's Yannick and Luca. And Luca's got the 5-second penalty and no end plate. Safety car in this lap too, so we can't pit again. Oh dear, I wonder what happened there, whether it was Yannick's fault. And Yannick's got the penalty as well.
Yeah, both of them.
So both of them picked up the 5 seconds this time. Yannick will have to serve that post-race because he won't be pitting again unless there's another safety car. And Cohen gets a terrible restart, and he's off track is Cohen. And he gets overtaken by Crichton. And Luca dives straight into the pits there, so Crichton picks up a couple of positions really easy. He'll be quite happy with that, I'd imagine. And now he's only got to make up one more spot, which is Yannick, to be back where he was before his penalty in the pits. And I'm not quite sure if Luca's going to continue or not. Looks like he is, which is good. But Ferreira leads them. From Duncan, Yannick, Crichton, Cohen, LRB, Ascom, Leo, Ford, Ryan, and Luca, who just pitted. He'll be a long way behind Will Luca, and he'll probably need to pit again as well, having gone on to the medium. So he's effectively out of it, is Luca. He'll be doing some practice laps. I think he's got another Japanese Grand Prix in another league this week. I think a few of these guys would actually. Duncan, Cohen maybe as well. So Ferreira really pushing. All top 10 within a second so far. So Cohen, I don't know what happened to his restart. That was just... He just, too much gas. He ended up on the grass, actually. Oh, and Gran with 3 seconds. He just cut the last chicane. Too much there. There's yellow flag, sector 3, and who's that? It's Asacom. So what's happened to the Red Bull? Oh, keep going. It's good. Everyone's going to score decent points here. Actually, top 15 score. So everyone that was even starting the Grand Prix was guaranteed points if they finished. But
yeah,
very...
Ferreira doesn't seem to...
Yeah, you go.
Ferreira doesn't seem to pull away for now. Duncan is really looking really close. Of course, Duncan will go for move, knowing he's P1 on track, basically. Yeah, what a shame for Crichton, actually. He got the best restart he could have because of Cohen's mistake and the scrap between Luca and Yannick.
Yeah.
This penalty won't help him at all. But I mean, the race is really long. So, and GG to Luca as well for not leaving, because this track is really, it's really easy to lose the car on this track, so anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. Could be another safety car, yeah. We probably arguably should have had a safety car earlier when Martin crashed on the first lap there, crashed out. So we did get one for Tom. I'm not quite sure what happened. I think he ended on the exit of Spoon, but I'm just wondering as well if Crichton maybe picked up some light damage in that collision with Duncan before when the safety car came out, and that's if that's hindering him at all. Could be the case, but Duncan's really close to Ferreira actually now. 4/10 back, which is around Japan is actually as close as you can get in a sector like the first sector. It's very hard to be right on the gearbox of another car through corners like this. Yannick sticking with him as well, so good pace from the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, I think now Cohen, yeah, he won't get DRS from Crichton, but yeah, I think what happened to him was just like cold tires. I mean, hards are really hard, like to get temperature into them, basically. So maybe he didn't heat the tires up enough, like for the restart. Top 4 looking really close to each other.
Ryan, another penalty, but Yannick and Crichton have the Yannick has the 5 seconds, doesn't he? Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's got 5 seconds and Crichton
so 5 seconds and Crichton's got 3, so it's looking very good at the moment for Duncan. Ferreira's got to stop again, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out for him, actually.
Yeah.
Still a long way to go. Still a long way to go. It actually might turn out to be the winning strategy, but I'm not quite sure. We'll have to wait and see. Duncan a 3-second penalty now, so that evens the field between Duncan and Crichton at least. Yannick's still got two extra seconds worth of penalties on that compared to the 3 Duncan and Crichton have, but Ferreira clean. Of course, that asterisk with his strategy. Not quite sure how that's going to turn out. So actually Cohen is maybe the one at the moment who has the net lead. So if Cohen can keep it clean, which I think he's really struggled in most races to avoid penalties, to be fair to him. So he'll need to have a clean race here if he's to get on the podium. And of course have good pace, but he's actually outside the DRS, and there he is, there he picks up his penalty. So like I said, he does usually struggle to keep penalties clean. LRB's another one that could sneak in there, but he needs to find some pace because he's outside the DRS. Leo's in his DRS, so all these guys in with a chance. Overtaking is difficult. 3/10 the margin from Ferreira to Duncan, and back to Yannick as well. Crichton right there. So it's all very tight at the front.
Yeah, and I was about to say about Cohen, like, not because of the penalty, but I mean, not having DRS, basically you couldn't save much battery, so
Yeah.
the red light is blinking already.
Yeah.
It's got 10%. It will be really hard for him to catch up. Otherwise, like one of the guys on the top 4 makes a mistake, I don't see him catching him up, to be honest. But right now, yeah, he's almost 1 second. Should be in the DRS range at the moment. He gained a lot in the second sector. Wow.
Luca with 3-second time penalty, but he's way back, unfortunately for him. I think we might be seeing an overtake for the lead on the straight this time around, Marco, because Duncan is within 2/10 of Ferreira, and that's just about all you need. Oh, he gets a big snap of oversteer, just about catches it. He's in overtake, he's going for it. This is going to be a clean overtake into turn 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't even
pretty
fight it.
easily.
He didn't-
Yeah, he got it done before the braking zone even, I think. So, relatively simple overtake there for Duncan on Ferreira. Now, Ferreira's got he's shown pretty good pace actually on the mediums, which are starting to get a bit second hand. 10 laps old now. Started the race on those tyres, of course, but Duncan already 7/10. Already 7/10 ahead. So,
Yeah, purple first
sector already. He's flying. He's Duncan. He's actually going to try and get fastest lap this lap, I would imagine. I want to get his telemetry up to see how much battery he actually uses. Yeah, he's using overtake out of the hairpin. So he's really pushing. He wants to gap Ferreira, get him out of that DRS and go for fastest lap at the same time. So it's really twofold why he's pushing so hard right now. Oh, he runs a little bit wide on exit of the spoon, and that'll give up some time to Ferreira, but actually not using overtake now, which is interesting. Maybe he thinks Ferreira will be... Oh, and Yannick! Is Yannick going to have a look? Oh, he does!
Dives.
Yannick dives. There's a little bit of contact, but all okay. He's given space there. And they're both going to get DRS. And Duncan does pick up the fastest lap, but I think that's going to be easily beaten. Yannick through, and crucially, still within 1 second of Duncan. So Crichton's turn now to try and get past Ferreira.
Yeah, that's key for Yannick because he needs to cover Crichton and Corin by 2 seconds because of the extra penalty he's got.
And Crichton needs to be patient here because Ferreira does have good pace. See how close they are. Cohen's right there as well now. LRB's really dropped off his pace, so Leo's... I thought Leo would be getting a bit closer, but keep an eye on those guys.
Oh, Crichton has made a mistake. No.
No, he's okay. Duncan has actually pulled out of DRS of Yannick though, so Yannick is going to be the car now that's essentially the leader of the pack, and Alex, you've left the session.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I got Crichton desynced, so...
Let's
yeah,
just-
can you get it?
Yeah,
I think I have another invite.
Lucky you're right
I
at the
have
top.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Crichton.
Joining.
Oh no, he's too far back from Ferreira. Ferreira actually dips a wheel into the grass on the entry to turn 3 there. Don't want to take too much grass there, otherwise you might go sliding into the barrier. I reckon if that happened in real life, oh look at the understeer from Crichton. I reckon Crichton's got damage. The understeer there was just crazy. He had the size of the lift he had to do. I actually think he does have damage. I'm not sure if you can actually see light green or even yellow damage though.
Well,
I'm really not sure,
if he's
but
got damage.
yeah,
He's got damage. Yeah. Should be all good. I don't know. Like if he's got damage, he would be struggling a lot in the first sector, but the gap's still remaining like the same. Oh, there's a yellow flag.
Oh, yellow flag. That's Ryan, I think. And it's clear. Yeah, it's like okay, all good. Yannick has actually caught Duncan a little bit. Not too much, and Yannick has pulled away from Ferreira now, but Ferreira gets DRS, so he'll be able to close back in as Ford picked up a penalty. Ryan's retired in the pits.
Retired in the pits.
He's had enough.
Yep.
So, can Ferreira hang on to the back of Yannick before he has to pit? That's going to be key to his race, I think. It's right on the cusp now, just over a second. You'll need a really good last sector. And there's another yellow flag.
No,
it's Ryan's car. Come back out of the pits. Yeah, I always forget that happens. Yeah, Ferreira's going to have to use everything he's got down this straight here to try and get that gap back under a second. He's just over 1.1 seconds. He's not even using overtake, so oh dear, I'm not sure that's the right call. I would have dumped everything and try and get that DRS back. Or maybe he's pitting this lap. No, not yet. Still too many laps
Watch
left.
out for Crichton because it's the best chance he's.
Will go on board. He hasn't got much overtake though, does Crichton. See, yeah, again, not to critique these guys too much, but it's the wrong call to have it in overtake all the way down the straight. See, now he's got no battery left. He would have been better off using the DRS then, just to close up and not using any battery, not using the overtake button to charge up for a go on the next lap, when he would have had a lot more battery and maybe even a bit closer, because now Ferreira is out of the DRS well and truly 1.6 seconds, but yeah, Crichton should have saved that, what battery he had. So we'll keep an eye on that for the next time. Fires Cohen nearly bins it, but saves it. What a save there from the racing point. You could see him oversteer. He got out of second Degner. This is a very tricky corner. You need to use a lot of curb because otherwise you just lose too much time. Easy to run wide and easy to get oversteer as well. It's very. I always tiptoe through there quite a bit. Alright, how close is Crichton this time? He's only got 14%. So, is he going to save or is he going to go for it this time? 11%. Oh, I think he's a lot closer. He needs to get the move done. He needs a good exit. Oh, Ferreira's actually got a good exit. Yannick fastest lap. Again, we're seeing Crichton go for it. He's got the DRS. Oh, I shouldn't have gone off board. I'm sorry. Wrong time, and they're side by side actually. No, Crichton gets it done. So nice driving from both the two guys there. Sorry about going off board. I thought it might give us a good camera angle. It did not. That's crucial for Crichton. He's already lost 2.8 seconds to Yannick. Getting held up behind Ferreira, so he'll need to push really hard to try and... Cohen again at the same corner. Oh, you can see how close you can get there to Ferreira. So Ferreira's really hindering a lot of these guys, and as it turns out, the move Yannick put on him at the chicane was crucial for him, because otherwise Duncan would have been out of sight. And as is, Yannick still within touching distance, 1.5 seconds, but it has 2 seconds of penalties compared to Duncan. So Duncan has 3, Yannick has 5. 2 seconds is the difference, is what I'm talking about. So Cohen should make a relatively easy overtake. And Ferreira will be in soon, I reckon. Cohen gets a much better exit than Crichton did the lap before, and this is going to be a much easier overtake for him because of that. Whereas Crichton had to use every inch of track available to him. Asicom's in the pits, and he's going on mediums. He's Asicom. Interesting. Quite interesting. See if Cohen has a... Oh, Cohen can get a purple sector there. Probably mainly because of the DRS, I would suspect. But I think Ferreira is going to be in the pits either this lap or next lap. Let's go on those fresh softs. I think maybe next lap actually. End of lap 18. Go 9 laps on fresh softs. Depends if how long it can stick with DRS actually on Cohen. If you can stick with DRS, then keep going. But as soon as you're out of it, pit. Just watching the gaps between the front 3, and Yannick is holding steady actually with Duncan. Crichton's dropped off a few tenths, and Ferreira is in the pit, so guess it pulled up nicely, but I think he was in with DRS then. I reckon he should have gone another lap, having been in DRS, but anyway. In he comes for the softs, and he'll come out P8. How much time does he need to find on Ford to make up 14 seconds? 15, 16, 17 and a half seconds in 8 laps. He's going to be very fast, but I don't think he's going to be that fast. And the 2 Red Bulls are going at it actually, Luca and Asicom, as we join those guys. I'm not sure if those 2 know each other, but yeah. It was. I found it a bit odd that Asicom pitted actually. I mean, he was 9th already, but maybe Asicom and Luca wanted to battle or something. Cohen another penalty, so that's good news for LRB, who could move up to 4th place.
Yeah, for Leo as well, which is doing a really...
Yeah, Leo's doing a great job.
Race.
Leo's in DRS of LRB actually, so... Having a solid run is Leo in the DRS of the Williams. Yannick a 3-second penalty, that's going to give Crichton P2.
Yeah.
Very costly penalty there from the AlphaTauri.
And Duncan for now can be a bit more easy on the tires.
Yeah.
Manage the race. Good news for P1 and P3 for both of them.
Yeah, so Duncan can actually afford to pick up another 3-second penalty and he'd still win the race, I think. Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
We'll have a quick look at the penalties. So 3 seconds for Duncan, 8 seconds for Yannick. Although the 5 seconds, I mean, he may be able to get that removed, technically, but provisionally at least, we will count the 5-second penalty. So he's got 8 seconds of pens, 3 seconds for Crichton and 6 seconds for Cohen. LRB has none, but is seemingly dropping off Cohen now a little bit, 4 seconds. So he's got to stay within 6 seconds to get that P4, Duncan the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I would expect Ferreira to beat that this lap, and Leo and Ford in the window as well.
Yeah, it was a double purpose sector for Ferreira. He will beat the time Yannick did for sure.
Yeah, it was Duncan who just did the fastest lap, but that gets taken away. Ferreira with a 28.0. I remember when that would have been pole position by some distance in F1 2018, 2019. That's how much faster these cars are now. The 2020 cars, probably, I'm not sure if the 21 cars are going to be as quick. Maybe at some tracks, but probably not at tracks like Japan where they're going to lose a lot of downforce. You never know. But
yeah,
quite similar. But the 2020 cars were probably the quickest cars that we're going to see in F1 for quite some time, with the new regulations coming in for 2022.
definitely, yeah.
So Yannick's actually clawed back a bit of time. Well, it was 1.3. It's gone down to 1.6, so he must have got a bad exit there out of the chicane. Crichton 4 seconds back. I would expect him to catch Yannick a little bit. Yeah, very strange. Not sure if he does have damage. I'll have to ask him after the race, but I think it makes sense for me. Let's have a look at him through Dunlop and see if he's lifting.
Nice.
Tiny lift. You could just see him blipping the throttle there a little bit, but I don't think it was too much there. Very smooth on the throttle out of the exit of the hairpin. But he's losing time to Yannick. If Cohen can catch him as well, although penalties really getting in the way of any kind of actual position, battles for position. Crichton using overtake out of Spoon. He's got no battery left. Very interesting. Still using it.
Yeah, all the top 3 actually don't have any battery anymore. Cohen as well.
Really?
Top 4 is really pushing a lot, yeah.
Interesting. Cohen, yeah, no one. Who's got the most? Actually, it's Ferreira that's got the most, with about 45%. 46. He's not going to catch the rest of the cars enough, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shocker from Ferreira, unfortunately, as far as strategy goes. He was on the medium tyres and he could have boxed for the hards. Wishful thinking that he was going to be able to box and then catch the guys on softs. There's too much time to be made up. And the hard's actually pretty good around here. One of the few tracks actually on the game where hards are pretty decent. It's really pretty even between a one-stop strategy, soft medium and soft hard. There's not too much difference. The mediums are much quicker than the second stint, like early on, first 3-4 laps, but then it evens out pretty well, and then the hards really come into it in the last 4 or 5 laps actually. So yeah, and you can pit earlier onto the hards as well, obviously being a more durable tyre. Not much an undercut around here though. If anything, there's an overcut, especially if the driver's boxing for hards. So you want to, even though the hards are more durable, you kind of want to box as late as possible to avoid getting overcut. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
Also avoid traffic as well.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, the hard tires don't look so good at the moment. I'm watching on board like with Duncan and Yannick. They've got a lot of blistering, but they will manage to get to the end of the race for sure. But yeah, it was quite touch and go, to be honest. The hards, as I said, are really good on this track because tires tend to overheat a bit, so that's why the softs are not so good for the race. I mean, they last, that's for sure, but you tend to lose grip quite soon, to be honest. And the hards work really well because they don't overheat, they keep a constant temperature. That's why they're the right tire for the race, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cohen's in DRS range of Crichton now. Let's have a quick look at penalties. So yeah, Crichton can actually afford to let him go if he wants. As long as he doesn't pick up another penalty, he should be okay. And yeah, I'm quite surprised really that Crichton couldn't stick with Yannick or make up any time on him.
He's away. He's over 5 seconds now. So
yeah,
no.
It's a big gap. That's why I said I'm quite surprised. We'll right on board with Cohen, who wasn't quite close enough to get a move done on Crichton into turn 1. Maybe next lap though. We've still got 3 laps left, and Cohen does look the quicker driver at this point in time. I still think Crichton might have a tiny bit of damage from that hit on Duncan where the safety car came out, and he got that penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
just
looking
about
really cloudy, Brad.
Cloudy.
It's not gonna rain.
No,
yeah, it's
I don't
not
think
gonna
so.
rain, of course, but could have been good, like watching the weather race around here. I guess we just experienced like an hour ago.
Now, Cohen doesn't have any battery, so even if he wants to go for an overtake, cuts the corner there as well. Oh, and he gets oversteer, and he should back out of this. If come on, no, nowhere near close enough. He's still using overtake.
Yeah, I kinda understand him, like to put some pressure because he wants Crichton to get another penalty. Maybe that's the plan he is.
Oh, and G-Force Ford is pitting for soft tyres. That's interesting.
Okay.
So, does he think that the hard tyres might be in danger of a puncture? Because he would have comfortably come P7. He was behind Leo.
Yep. Okay.
That's quite interesting.
Watch out.
Oh, and Ford Crichton's off. Has he got a puncture? Puncture front left.
Yeah.
Oh no. So they are in
Watch
puncture territory.
Yes, they are. Oh,
Wow.
what a shame.
20 lap. I thought the hards would go to the end, no problem.
No, because the tire difference is not that big, like in terms of lifespan between the mediums and the hards. So,
Oh wow.
Wow.
So that's gonna ruin a podium. Definite podium actually for Crichton. Maybe even P2. I can't remember what the gap was to Yannick, but and he's just gonna get in the way of Leo, but not too much. But yeah, Crichton very unlucky, and Ferreira's gonna make up another position here on him. He's not going to keep the fastest lap because both Mercedes have pitted onto soft tyres. So alarm bells will be ringing for everyone else on those hard tyres. So it's Duncan, Yannick, Cohen, LRB and Leo. The top 5 in the race, all on the hard tyres. I think I said hard rather than soft. So we'll have to see if those guys can make it to the end on their hard rubber.
Yeah, as I told you, like tires were not looking good, and yeah, maybe I jinxed it a bit, but
Mm.
they're all trying like to take care of the tires. Like Cohen is taking some corners with like 1 gear up, like 1 gear more than usual, because he
Yeah.
doesn't want rear tires to have some wheel spin or something. And but right now we're on the last lap, so I think Duncan will just cruise to the end, and Yannick as well. What a shame.
Yeah, really.
Maybe he pushed a bit too much. Maybe he pushed a bit too much in the middle part of the race. I think he's gonna get fastest lap. I guess so. Last lap.
So, will there be any last lap drama in the Japanese Grand Prix? We're on the last lap now. Duncan, to be honest, hasn't been troubled too much. Just needs to bring it home at this point. Yannick is going to come home in P2. On track at least? No, yeah, definitely. On forward, bangs in the fastest lap. I think Crichton might try and steal that as well. But the top 5 will be looking to bring their car home, nurse those tyres to avoid a puncture. Puncture at this stage might drop them down the order. But a good win from Duncan. He's only got 3 corners left. 4 corners were left, rather. Through 130R, he goes. Luca with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So a couple of drivers. Yeah. VSR Duncan wins the Japanese Grand Prix from pole position. Commanding performance from him. Yannick has that 5-second unserved penalty, but that won't matter because he'll come home P2. Cohen, fantastic drive from him. His first podium. Yannick's first podium as well, I might add. P2 and Cohen. Oh, and LRB jumps Cohen by 1 second.
Yep, he does.
So no penalties for LRB, and that gets him on the podium. Well done. And Crichton 3-second penalty. Is he going to get still past his lap? But no, he didn't. So fastest lap is going to go to Luca, I think.
Yep.
He might be going for it again, actually.
He doesn't seem to have a lot of battery. Let's see his lap data.
No, he's probably just bringing it home. But well done to Duncan, Yannick, and LRB. Solid races from those guys. Commiserations to Crichton for the puncture. That was very unfortunate. And Cohen as well for missing out on the podium right at the end, or getting jumped on penalties rather. But yeah, that has been the Japanese Grand Prix. Leo's picked up driver of the day, so yeah, he did have a quietly nice drive. Top 5 for him. So well done. I would have liked to have seen how his Kush went. Tom as well, but they just didn't get a clean first few laps, unfortunately. So we got 2 Michael Schumachers on the podium, and the Asian lady on the top step. So good to see. So Duncan wins from Yannick, LRB, Cohen, Leo. Ferreira brought it home to P6, surprisingly. It was looking like he kind of bottled his race, to be honest, staying out. But P6 is not bad. Probably could have... He might have done a bit better, actually, because he didn't have penalties, but still, P6 from 12th place is not too bad. Ascom P7, Crichton P8 after that late puncture. Got him off the podium, unfortunately. And Ford, I didn't really mention him too many times during the race. Yeah, he wasn't really battling with anyone, but a late pit stop for the fastest lap. But Luca gets the fastest lap by by 0.12 a second over Crichton, and was our final finisher. So that's been the Japanese Grand Prix, guys. Marco, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem. It was a pleasure as always. See you next time.
Yep, good win from Duncan. I think that's a quick look at the standings to see how many wins that is for him actually. So he won at Italy and the USA, so that is his third win of the season. He's also picked up podiums, third place at Singapore, third place at Mexico, and second last week at Spain. So yeah, he's really putting pressure on Ferreira now for the P2 in the championship. So that only 2 races left now. Monaco next week. So we're racing that on the same day that the real F1 drivers will be for their Monaco Grand Prix in real life, and then the final round is at Brazil in 2 weeks' time. So we look forward to those races. Hopefully we get a few more drivers. 13, not terrible, but not great either. We had 19 last week for the Spanish Grand Prix, so hopefully we get some drivers back. I'm sure Domi will be back, and a couple others as well, Ace. So yeah, we should have back to normal, I think. So yeah, cheers for tuning in to the Japanese Grand Prix, and we'll see you next time. Marco, thank you for joining me as well. Appreciate your time and commentating. He might have jumped out already, but all good. We'll see you next week for the Monaco Grand Prix. Until then, bye bye.